American common law. That's why I wrote the writ.
It appears that you're on for bench trial. Sure. That's or jury trial. I don't know. Yeah, we can set a trial date for you, but let's see if I can answer some of the questions you have. What questions do you have?
Okay, like I go by American common law. That's why I wrote the writ.
Okay.
And that gold fringe shows me it's maritime, commerce. And I'm just wondering, is it going to be in a common law court?
Actually, it's in a justice court.
Okay. And then, because, commerce, there should be no bills of attainder, and that's what this is. I will like to add this, because I'm going to take it to trial.
Okay.
Here, it says my name and not in all caps as the corporation, but in here in Lehigh, it says in all caps. So, an exhibit. And,
you want me to hang on to these documents or you want them back?
You can put them in exhibits for trial.
So I can't take exhibits for trial yet.
Okay.
I would have to wait till trial, and you would have to make sure that whatever you're submitting complies with rules of evidence. So I'll hand those back to you for that.
And then, where's it at? Well, there needs to be a separation between church and state. There's not. No. De facto law should be passed, which is Roman civil law. That's altering our forms of government. That's a monarchy. It's not a democracy or republic. My writ, I would like the cause of the confinement I was in.
I'm not familiar with the legal term cause of confinement. Can you help me understand what you mean by cause of confinement?
The reason why, like I was, through that whole system.
Okay. I think what you mean, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, you're wondering why the city's charged you with this crime?
No, the process, why it wasn't through common law, American common law.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we're a justice court established under, let me, I guess, first back up. Just to see if we're on the same page, you adhere to the United States Constitution.
What's that?
Do you adhere to the United States Constitution?
Well, that's for you, public servant.
Sure. So, I guess,
I go by natural law.
Agree God's law. The things that you said about the court and its jurisdiction. And so I just want to make sure before we go on too lengthy of a conversation about that we're on the same page. So that's why I'm wondering, do you adhere to the United States Constitution?
It's protected. Yeah, it gives me my God.
So, under the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution, the powers not delegated to the federal government were reserved for the state. Can you agree on that?
Marbury versus Madison.
Yeah, that's a separate United States Supreme Court case. But what I'm wondering is, would you agree that under the 10th Amendment that the powers not given to the federal government are reserved to the states?
The powers of the federal government, not. Yes.
Okay. So, states are able to create a state constitution. The state of Utah created a state constitution, specifically in Article 8, Section 1. They created state courts that operate within the state of Utah. And then specifically, by statute under that same Article 8, Section 1, created courts of record and courts of not record, which include justice courts. Justice courts are given that authority essentially under the state constitution and state code to address a number of different charges, which include the charge that's been alleged in this case today. So that's where this court derives its jurisdiction and its authority from, to answer your question. It sounds to me like you might not agree with that. I understand that, and I think we'll just have to respectfully disagree. Okay.
So, yes, I would like to face my accusers.
Okay, great. So we'll set a trial date. Now, in any Class B misdemeanor case, you have a right to one of two different types of trial. You can request a jury trial, or you can request a bench trial. It does not make a difference to me which one you choose. But before you make that choice, do you have any questions about the difference between those two trials so that you can better make your decision about what type of trial you'd like?
Yes, juries, among our peers. Bench is you're like the referee, and yes.
And I think you got the general concept down. Do you know which type of trial you would like to request in this particular case?
Because it's kind of hard because it seems like if I go with the jury, it's everyone is on a different level, and we're all created equal. Which a police officer told me this, that he works, under a certain law, and he told me that he would have to protect his people under that law if I go in his jurisdiction. But we're created all equal, so it's kind of confusing. I would just go with the bench trial.
Okay. So we can set you a bench trial. The only other question that I'll ask, and then if there's other questions you have, I'm happy to try to answer those. Is this a case where you would like me to appoint the public defender to represent you? That's an attorney that will represent you at no cost, that could represent you at a trial and your interests, and we can give you legal advice about that trial as we go on.
I don't need someone from association, or if I was the Crown or Roman law.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's no problem at all. I'll just find, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you've knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to have a public defender represent you. Is that correct? Okay. Then give me a minute. We'll set a new date for you to come back for the bench trial. On this new date, it'll be here in person just like we are today, so just make sure to be in person. If for some reason you don't show up or you're late, then the trial will still go forward in your absence. Make sure to be here on time. We'll start the trial from the position where I presume that you're innocent. The city has the burden to prove otherwise. They typically do that by calling witnesses to testify. For example, if there was an officer involved or other individuals who may have witnessed what did or did not happen. If the city calls any witness to testify, you'll have an opportunity to ask that witness questions as well about what did or did not happen. After the city's presented all of its evidence, and they may have other evidence too, and you can actually get a copy of everything that's in the city's file. They're the small window out in the lobby. If you fill out one of their forms, they'll get you a copy of everything that they've got in their file. Once the city's presented all of its evidence, then we'll turn the time over to you to present evidence as well. The only caution I'll give you there is if you want me to consider something, it has to be here in person that day. So, for example, I can't take like a written affidavit, what somebody might say. If you want someone to testify for you, you actually have to bring them with you. Same thing with documents or photographs or other exhibits. Make sure that they're here in some kind of tangible form that day. And then at the end of the trial, I'll simply make a determination of whether or not the city's met its burden of proof. In this particular case, let me just pull up the information and make sure I have all the charges that are listed. Looks like they just filed the one charge of possession of a controlled substance, which is a Class B misdemeanor alleged to occur July 11th. So if I find that happened beyond a reasonable doubt, I find you guilty. If I find that didn't happen beyond a reasonable doubt, I find you not guilty. Any questions about what to expect at trial that day?
No, because I have recordings. So of when I was arrested, and then when I was put in the car, I have a conversation between other officers. How would I should I make that in a transcript, or can I just provide that, or do I tell the other officers?
Yeah, that's a good question. Certainly you can seek to subpoena those officers if you know who they are. You can see that we've got a number of cables that you can connect to, so ideally, if you can have that audio on a thumb drive and then bring a laptop or something with you, can plug it in here and play it for us if you think it's relevant to the case.
Now, my phone? Is that okay?
The only problem with that is if I need to hang on to the evidence, then it would have to be in some form that I can hold on to, and I'm assuming that you don't want me to hang onto your phone for...
Oh, I don't mind.
You might not have it for several weeks.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can go without whatever it is that you're playing on, then that's fine. And that's just why I suggested the thumb drive, because then you can leave the thumb drive. And,
Okay.
but yeah, if you want to...
Or like an SD card? Is that...
Yeah, that works too. As long as you can connect to something, then you're welcome to look at the connections that we've got there before you leave. The only other thing that I'll caution you is that keep in mind that when you come on that day, I've got to apply the rules of evidence. The rules of evidence tell me what evidence, what documents, exhibits, and so forth is admissible and what is not. And so keep in mind on that date that the rules of evidence will apply. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions before we let you go today?
No.
Okay, thanks for being here today. We'll get next slide.
And then my discovery, I can just get it.
Yeah, just fill out the form out there in the lobby of the small window, and it'll get you. It might take you a week or two to get you that. Okay. Oh yeah, and we get you to the date. That's the most important thing. The trial will be December 13th.
December
13th. Yeah, and we always send out an email. We'll send it out this afternoon showing what we've done here today.
Yeah, my communications, I don't know. My email's not working. My Google's not working.
Okay. Tell you what, then let's, if you're not getting an email, I'll just print it off, and we'll get it to you on the live. So we'll leave until we get you a copy of that document, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. In fact, Mr. Detroit, if you hang tight in here, I'll just print it on this printer that we've got here, and we'll have it to you before you leave the courtroom. Give me just 1 second. Okay, I should be coming up here in just a second. Have a nice day.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to get the discovery of my lawful case.
Are you the one who was charged in the case?
This is the case number.
And your name is Kenneth? You're Kenneth, okay. Alright, let me have you fill this out. And while you're working on that, can I see your ID?
Isn't it like just public records?
Not really. The information could be potentially open to the public, but it goes through some checks and balances on that.
Oh, is it because of FISA?
Because you're the only one who's entitled to that, you and your attorney. So, if you want that, we need you to fill out the form.
Well, I'm representing myself.
That's okay. I still need you to fill out the form and provide some ID.
Okay. I'm trying to get the mask. I hate saying the word person.